In the heart of a sun-dappled forest, a place where emerald leaves danced in the breeze and the air hummed with life, lived three of the most unlikely friends. There was Pip, a tiny sparrow with a heart full of song and feathers, the color of morning sky. Then there was Sheldon, a wise old turtle whose shell carried the stories of 100 seasons. And finally, there was Rusty, a rabbit with a twitchy nose and feet that barely seemed to touch the ground. One bright morning, Rusty, feeling particularly energetic, zipped past his friends. "Last one to the Whispering Willow is a slowpoke," he shouted, his voice echoing through the trees. Pip chirped with delight and soared into the air, his wings beating a rapid rhythm. "Not if I get there first," he sang, looping through the branches. Sheldon just chuckled, a slow, rumbling sound that came from deep within his chest. He pulled his head out of his shell and began his steady, unhurried journey. "The race is not always to the swift," he murmured to himself with a knowing smile. Rusty, true to his nature, was a blur of brown fur. He bounded over fallen logs, dodged thorny bushes, and zigzagged through fields of wildflowers. He reached the ancient Whispering Willow in what felt like a heartbeat, his chest puffing with pride. A moment later, Pip landed gracefully on a branch above him, preening his feathers. "I let you win," he teased. Though they both knew Rusty's speed was unmatched on the ground, they sat together, waiting for Sheldon. The sun climbed higher, casting long shadows across the forest floor. Minutes turned into what felt like hours. Rusty started to get antsy, tapping his foot impatiently. "What's taking him so long?" he grumbled. Pip flew to a higher branch, scanning the path. "Patience, Rusty," he chirped. "Sheldon moves at his own pace. That's just who he is." Finally, a familiar slow-moving shape emerged from the ferns. It was Sheldon, plodding along with his usual calm determination. He wasn't tired or out of breath, just steady. When he reached the willow tree, he looked up at his friends and gave them a wide, gentle smile. "Did I miss anything?" he asked. Rusty hopped over and nudged him affectionately. "Only the boring part," he joked. "The fun starts now that you're here." Their days were filled with these simple, joyous moments. They didn't just race, they explored. Sheldon, with his low vantage point, would often find the most delicious wild strawberries hidden beneath large leaves. He'd call out, and Rusty would help gather them, while Pip stood guard from above, watching for any forest creatures who might want to steal their snack. They'd share every last berry, making sure each of them had their fill. One afternoon, they were playing near the gurgling creek when Pip, trying a daring new flight maneuver, got his wing tangled in a thick, sticky spiderweb spun between two branches. He struggled and thrashed, but it only made the web tighter. He chirped in distress, his little heart pounding with fear. Rusty heard him first. He raced to the base of the tree, his ears flat against his head with worry. "Pip, hold on, I'm coming," he yelled, trying to climb the slippery bark, but his claws couldn't get a grip, and he kept sliding back down. He was fast, but he couldn't climb. Sheldon arrived a moment later, his calm demeanor a stark contrast to Rusty's frantic energy. He assessed the situation with his wise, old eyes. "Calm down, Rusty," he said in his soothing voice. "Panic won't help him." Sheldon looked at the tree. "Tinette, Rusty, I have an idea. Stand on my back." Rusty hesitated for a second, then understood. He carefully climbed onto Sheldon's sturdy shell. It gave him the extra height he needed. Reaching up with his paws, he carefully, gently, began to pull the sticky strands of the web away from Pip's wing. It took time and precision, but soon, Pip was free. He fluttered down, shaken but unharmed, and landed on Sheldon's head. "Thank you," he whispered, nuzzling against the smooth shell. "Both of you." Rusty nudged Sheldon's leg. "That was your idea, Sheldon. You saved him." Sheldon just blinked slowly. "We saved him," he corrected. You had the nimble paws, and I had the sturdy shell. We each did what the other could not. Other animals in the forest often watched them. The squirrels would pause their nut gathering, and the deer would lift their heads from grazing, all mesmerized by this unusual trio. They saw a rabbit who learned patience, a bird who learned to look before he leaped, and a turtle who reminded them all that strength comes in many forms. The adulta, older bears, and the wise owls would see the three friends and smile. Their friendship was a living, breathing lesson. It wasn't about being the same, it was about celebrating their differences and using them to help each other. The rabbit's speed wasn't just for winning races, it was for reaching a friend in need quickly. The bird's flight wasn't just for showing off, it was for seeing trouble from afar. And the turtle's slowness wasn't a weakness, it was a source of steadfastness and thoughtful solutions. They completed each other, filling in the gaps where the others fell short. One evening, as they sat watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of orange and pink, Pip turned to his friends. Isn't it funny? Chirpith. I can fly, you can run like the wind, and you, he said, hopping onto Sheldon's shell, carry your home on your back. We couldn't be more different. Rusty twitched his nose in agreement. Yeah, but it wouldn't be any fun if we were all the same. Who would I race? Who would find the hidden berries? Sheldon let out another one of his slow, rumbling chuckles. He looked at the two friends who had brought so much light and laughter into his long life. True friendship, he said, his voice soft but clear, isn't about finding someone just like you. It's about finding those whose differences make your own life more complete. It's about being the wings for someone who can't fly, the speed for someone who is slow, and the rock for someone who needs grounding. The three friends sat in comfortable silence, watching the first stars begin to prick the darkening sky. They knew Sheldon was right. Their bond wasn't built on what they had in common, but on how they cherished and supported what made each of them unique. And in that quiet understanding, in the heart of that peaceful forest, they shared a happiness that was as deep and as boundless as the night sky above. Their story became a quiet legend in the forest, a gentle reminder that the most beautiful friendships are often the most unexpected ones. Thank you so much for watching. If this story warmed your heart, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming tales. See you next time!